Okay, so here we are 10 years later, and you make the Pro Bowl, lead the league in completion percentage, set records last year, but that was obviously a really, really long process for you. And you are, man, one of the more positive people I've been around. Were you positive the whole time, or what kind of bumps did you have to go over, and how did you reset yourself to get back on a positive, a positive track?
I would say early on, I wasn't very optimistic. I wasn't very positive. I was kind of caught in the why me phase. It was kind of a freak accident and how things happened where I lost my job. And when I came in, I was struggling, on the team, and I wasn't playing as well as everyone expected me to. And so it created this, kind of a standoffish demeanor where it was like me against the world. And if you're not with me, then forget you. But what I learned over time is that's very counterproductive to your mental state. You don't want to be in a place of negativity. Things just don't work well that way, maybe for some, but not for me. And so for me, I always do my best when I'm happy, when I'm excited, when I feel great about things. And so the minute I started to embrace my hardships, you're right, like things get hard, right? Everyone's going to find, an obstacle in life. Something's going to happen to everyone in life where it's going to get hard. But what I chose to do was I chose to flip it. I say, you know what? It's not about the obstacle. It's about how I respond to it. And so if I truly embrace it and say, hey, this is unique to me, I need this. This is what I need to get to that next level, whether it's mental or physical. This is what I need. And then you start to use it, and you start to channel, I can, like your anger or your aggression, you start to channel it in a positive direction to where things, work out better for you. I think if you channel it in a negative direction, then you'll lead down a negative road.
Something had to get you to make that change, to make that decision, to choose your mindset. What was it, and at what point was it?
I think it was really when I left the Chargers, my first year coming to Seattle. I had been on 4 teams in 4 years at that point. I went Jets, Giants, Chargers, and then came to Seattle, and really hadn't found solid footing anywhere. And so I just chose to embrace whatever my destiny was. I really chose it, and I said, you know what, whatever it is. I remember telling somebody, I won't ever get to where I need to go until I embrace what I'm going through right now. And whatever it is that I'm going through is just, like I said, it's designed specifically for me, and I need it right now. I need to go through this right now to get to the other side of it. And so I started looking at it as, man, this is great. Like, things are hard. I don't know what, I got to go compete to be a backup. That's great. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome. I got to go work my butt off.
Instead of it's happening to you.
Instead of I get to, like you said, I get to do these things. And I just started to look at life a lot different, man. I just like no excuses. There are no excuses. No one cares about your excuses, really. I mean, some people are happy you're in the position that you're in. Yeah. So, the reality is that you have to save yourself. And a lot of times people look for outsiders to save them or someone else to come along and help them, when in reality, you have everything you need to be successful. You just have to really dig deep and sit alone with yourself, meditate, do things like that to where you can have a clear mindset, a clear way of thinking to see what it is that you need to do.
So when you're going to Seattle, you made that choice. All right, now I have a fresh beginning. I can have a fresh way of looking at things. Or did somebody actually have a talk with you and the light bulb went on? Or is it just you?
I would say I had my son. I had my son's 3 now, so I had a baby. Okay. I was turning 30. Right. It's like in the middle of my life, I'm no longer a 20-year-old, right? I'm starting to, mature a little bit more. And, just overall, I just took control. They say take life by the horns. I mean, you really have to do that, and until you change your mindset and say, I'm going to really grab hold of this thing and I'm going to execute and do everything in my power to make it exactly the way I envision it. And so I stopped looking at things in a negative manner. I stopped looking at the obstacles as something negative. And, it's kind of like what I like to say, it's like resistance on a weight bar. You need it to get stronger. And the more resistance, the stronger you get. And you don't just keep the same amount of weight, right? You add weight so you can get stronger. And so that's kind of how life is, right? Like you get pushback so that you can get stronger so you can push further.
Yeah, listen, that's your equity in life, right? That's your currency. It's not the money, because the money can come and go. When you go through things that should have broken you, right? Should have broken you and didn't, and you come through the other side of that tunnel, that's what we could really use for the rest of our lives. And you certainly learned that about yourself.
Yes, sir.
Right? That's you. At what point this year did you realize, oh man, all that stuff I was telling myself, it's working. Like I'm there.
Yeah, I would say it really happened. It really happened last year when I got the opportunity to play when Russ got hurt, and because I had been big on this manifestation thing where it's like things are going to happen for me if I, like I said, if I stay positive, if I manifest good things in my life, if I do good deeds, if I wake up with the right intentions every day, somehow the stars will align. And so, I'm not saying Russ's injury was that, but the opportunity was that.
Right.
And just having that opportunity, I saw that, man, I could do anything, because who thought this opportunity would come again? Who would have thought if I just stayed in it long enough, I get a chance to play again.
Right.
And so the next season, I just kind of knew already that things were going to be great. I already had it in my mindset that the next opportunity I got, I was going to take advantage of it. And it happened in Seattle. And so I'm happy for it, because I truly love the people I'm around, great people around here, positive coaches, positive environment as a whole. And so it was just one of those things where it all came together, like the stars aligned at the right time.
In your, let's say, your prior NFL life, what was the hardest thing that you had to go through?
The hardest thing was not playing. Knowing that I'm, I had started my entire life. I was a 4-year starter in high school, 4-year starter in college. Started right away in the NFL. So I had never not, been the guy. Never not been the starter. It was new to me to have to prepare for a game and then on Sunday not play it. So the hardest thing was, Sundays being so ready to play and having to sit on the bench and having to endure not being out there with my teammates, not being able to help the team physically on game day. But what I did is I embraced that part of it. I embraced the part of being a backup and being a coach to the teammates around me. And freaking, if it meant cheerleading for the guys and getting them excited, then hey, that's what I would do. But just, finding a way to make an impact, even if it wasn't in the way that I envisioned it.
Well, you got obviously benched by the Jets, right? Things are just not going great for the Jets. Then for the Giants, you finally get your break, but it's replacing Eli in the one game. Nobody wants you replacing Eli, right?
Exactly.
And you had torn your ACL before that.
Yep.
How hard was it for you not to fall in that mindset of, man, why? Why is this happening to me?
It was very hard. It was very hard because of all the things that I kind of went through leading up into that. It was about like a 3 or 4 year process where, like you said, was a starter, then became a backup, get my job back, tear my ACL in the game that I finally get a chance to start. Now I'm on the Giants, work my way back from ACL, work my way into, obviously getting a chance to start. But I had already, kind of bombed it in New York. So it was kind of one of those deals. And then Eli Manning is Hall of Famer, is 2-time Super Bowl champion, all those things. And so it's kind of like that wasn't the right fit for me. And then, going to the Chargers, that wasn't the right fit for me. So it was just a lot of trying to find my way and, just searching for any type of solid footing.
When they came to you to replace Eli, were you like, what are you doing? No, not this isn't the game I want to go.
Not really. I think that's my competitive mindset. When I got to that team, that was my mindset. And I know exactly who Eli is. I know how great he is. And I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, all-time great. But my mindset is to go beat him out. I mean, however I can. I don't know. It could seem impossible. Someone actually told me, God told me on the team, he said, you got a better chance of hitting the lotto than starting the game over Eli. I put this on everything. God told me that. And I took that very personal. I really took that personal. And so I just was going to outwork anybody. And that's kind of how my mind is wired. I'm not going to be denied. I just won't.
I hope you played lotto every week since.
I should. I need to. Well, I think I got something better than the lotto.
That's right. You hit the lotto, actually.